So, a while back, I asked a room full of music lovers, what is the main reason that you don't listen to classical music? And their answer completely surprised me because what they said was, we feel overwhelmed by the sheer choice of recordings. For example, if you look up Beethoven's Fifth, you'll probably find over 100 recordings of that work. How are you supposed to choose the right recording to listen to out of 100 recordings? That answer made me very sad because it seemed like such a bad reason not to listen to classical music that for me, the sheer choice of recordings is actually a blessing. It means that there's a massive diversity of recordings to listen to, and it means that you can find the recording that's right for you. But I understand that this is a problem, that some people do get overwhelmed by the sheer choice of recordings. So in this video, I want to talk about how you can find a great recording, how you can find the recording that is right for you. And I also want to look at different tools and apps that you can use to really enhance your experience of discovering classical music. How you can treat this experience almost like visiting a library where you can find, learn about, and discover more of just about anything that you're interested in. So the basic principle is you need to find the vibe or the energy that is right for you. And this is something I've been doing for 10 years or more, is that you dip in and out of different recordings of the piece you're looking for until you find an energy or a vibe that is right for you. And your tastes might be completely different from mine. And that's why it's important that you look for and that you find the vibe or the energy that's right for you. Once I find that vibe or that energy, I commit to that recording and I listen to it all the way through. So now I'm going to show you how to find a recording that's right for you, and I'm going to show you the tools that I use to do this. So I have a problem with Spotify. Spotify can be great for a lot of things, but I'm someone who primarily listens to classical music. So, I mean, if you look at my homepage here, okay, 80s, 90s, noughties and 2010s hits, fine. You scroll down a little bit, you get the editor's picks. Okay, here we go. Your daily mix. This looks more promising. But so look, at some point in the past, I must have hearted The Creation by Haydn. And so what it's done is it's dispersed the creation all the way through this playlist. I mean, which doesn't make sense at all if you know the creation. It's just unhelpful. Or if I type, let's say I type in Brahms 1. Here we go. Brahms 1, songs. Brahms Lullaby, 16 waltzes, lullaby, piano pieces, lullaby, symphony 1. That's what I was looking for. 16. Okay. Like, it's, or I'll try symphony 1 now. Okay. So in fairness, I could click here and find symphony 1. But if I then click here, I get symphony 3, 3, 1, 4. It's kind of chaotic. And so you can find what you're looking for here, but it's not catered towards really discovering classical music. Let's face it, Spotify isn't designed for classical listeners. It's designed for pop listeners, rock listeners, all the other genres, but it's not classical specialist. And it really faces the problem that when you have a classical piece of music, there'll be dozens of recordings. It doesn't really help you to choose a specific recording. If you're looking for a rich library where you can really explore classical music and go deep and really learn about that kind of music, then this probably isn't the place for you. So a little while ago, someone from Primephonic reached out to me and asked me to check out their service. And honestly, it's just about everything that you could ask for in a classical streaming service. It's like visiting this rich library of music where there's all these carefully curated selections for you to check out. So I just want to take you through the homepage of their website, and then I'm going to show you the app, which has even more features for classical lovers or people who want to discover more about classical music. By the way, I can get you free membership to this, so stick around if you're interested in that. So first you have new releases, and this is something that's updated every single Friday with the latest releases in classical music. And then you have musical surprises, and this is kind of fun. This is just things that you wouldn't normally expect from that composer. So you have minor key Mozart, or relaxing Beethoven, or the lighter side of Wagner, or Glenn Gould doesn't play Bach, or John Williams Beyond Cinema, and so on and so on. And then there's composer playlists. So this is the sort of essential Beethoven or essential Bach or essential Mozart, where these are personally curated by it is literally their job to find amazing recordings of music and find great pieces of music for these playlists. I kind of jealous of their jobs, to be honest, because that's what they get to do. But you can find essential Mozart or essential Brahms, and it'll choose great recordings of masterpieces of music from these composers. We'll look at that a bit more in a moment. They have podcasts. So if I want to learn more about the classical era, I can go to episode 2 of their podcast, and then I can listen to...
Hello and welcome to Classical Encounters.
So you're being taught about classical music, and you also have a playlist of great recordings of great masterpieces from Haydn, Mozart, and Beethoven to go along with it. So what more could you ask for? You're literally being taught about each era of music in a podcast. Then after that is daily rarities. These are hand-picked rare gems. You have artist playlists. This is awesome. So Michael Tilson Thomas has curated his own playlist, or Andrew Neffsinger, who's the conductor of St. John's Cambridge Choir. He's curated his own playlist of British choral music. Or one of my favorites is later on down the line, you have the Pavarotti Estate has curated their own official Pavarotti playlist. How cool is that? You have mood playlists, so if you're looking for something intense, you can go here, or if you want a rainy day playlist, then of course Mahler's Adagietto gets on the rainy day playlist. Great piece. And then you have these podcasts, so if you're interested in film music, you have Rupert Gregson-Williams, and what's cool is you can listen to him talking. Look, advice from Hans Zimmer.
And musically, what was it like working with Hans Zimmer?
It was wonderful. I'd known him for years, sort of socially, and he was always saying to me...
You have to find out what he was always saying. But you can listen to Rupert Gregson-Williams talk about his music and his life experience, as well as listening to his music. Right underneath this is album commentaries. If you want Nicola Benedetti talking about her latest album, or Sheku, or Eric Whittiger, or all of these people, Alison Balsam, there are daily recommendations. There are essential playlists if you want to listen to essential symphonies, essential film music, essential choral music, or the lesser-known works of Rachmaninoff, Bach, Schubert, Haydn. There are these masterworks, iconic albums. You have instrument-specific playlists for the tuba, or the violin, or the trumpet, and so on. And it just goes on and on with playlists for people who want to discover more classical music, or for people who already love and know a lot of classical music. So that's the homepage. Now I'm going to swap over to the app. So now I'm on the app here. What I'm going to do is just show you some more of the features. So let's say the composer's playlist. If I click on Beethoven Essentials, what this will show you is a whole bunch of different classic pieces of Beethoven. Great way to discover more Beethoven. You have Symphony 8, you have the Pathétique Piano Sonata number 8, you have one of his great string quartets, his Pastoral Symphony number 6, his Violin Sonata. It's all kinds of different pieces. It's not just his symphonies and not just his piano sonatas, but a nice selection of great music from all different areas of Beethoven. So let me show you how I would look for a recording now. Let's say I want to find Brahms 1. I'm doing a quick guide on Brahms 1, so Brahms 1. Whereas Spotify showed me all kinds of nonsense when I typed in Brahms 1, this is very intelligently asking me, do I mean Symphony number 1? Do I mean Piano Concerto number 1? Which Brahms 1 do you mean? So in this case, it's brilliant. In this case, I mean Brahms Symphony number 1. So again, there's a recommended recording, and I already know this recording by Hitink, but it's a great recording, so let's click on it. I should say as well about Primephonic is that they pay their artists well, because they pay the artists per second of streaming, whereas Spotify pays per play. Primephonic pays per second of streaming, which is a lot more fair, because the problem is pop songs tend to be 3 or 4 minutes. Classical movements can be 15 or even 30 minutes long, so it's not really fair to pay per click. They pay per second, which is a lot more fair pay, really. So anyway, I've gone to Brahms 1 and I've gone to the recommended recording. So here I could go ahead and listen to this, but first I just want to show you, look at this. So it says about this recording, we have the composer, we have the conductor, and we have the orchestra. Let's say I want to know more about Brahms. I'll click on Brahms, and it'll show me an editor's choice of an amazing Brahms recording. I know this recording, actually, and it is incredible. This is Brahms 4, conducted by Carlos Kleiber, and there's even a sort of blurb. There's even an editor's choice editorial written about this recording of Brahms 4. Anyway, you can then look at, if you're on the Brahms page, you can look at popular works by Brahms, his Third Symphony, his Violin Concerto, his Fourth Symphony, and so on. And you can go down, you can look at related composers, Schumann and Joachim and Clara Schumann. They're all contemporaries, and there's a modern composer who relates to Brahms. And then there's even a biography at the bottom of the page, which is great for learning about Brahms. Well, let's go back. So let's say I want to learn more about the conductor, Bernard Haitink. Well, again, there's an editor's choice. This is a great album conducted by Haitink, and there's information about Haitink. Or let's say I want to learn more about the London Symphony Orchestra. Once again, there's this recording of Sibelius symphonies, and there's this editor's choice sort of editorial again, talking about the London Symphony Orchestra, one of the world's great orchestras. So, and also the latest albums featuring the LSO and so on. So it's a brilliant way. If you say, if you love this conductor or if you love this pianist, you can click on them and learn more about their work and learn, recommended recordings. Or if you love the sound of this orchestra, you can click on it and you can learn more about the orchestra. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I would dip in and out of recordings and find the vibe and the energy that I really love. So I've searched for Brahms 1. I might as well start with the recommended recordings. So let's listen to just the first few seconds of this. I'm only going to play a few seconds here because I don't want to get copyright struck, but it's you feel that kind of energy. Now let's compare it to something else. So Karajan's recording might have a different energy. Listen to this. I mean, it's like the world unfolding. That's a great energy. I already love that. But let's say I want to listen to more. So I'm going to go show all recordings of this work. And you can sort by popularity or by A to Z or by newest if you wanted. You can sort by all kinds of different parameters. But let's say I want to try out Nicholas Harnoncourt. You feel that they all have different energies. They all have different vibes. For me, I by far prefer the Herbert von Karajan recording. I just think that just sounds so epic and intense. But you might prefer the Harnoncourt, or you might go with their recommended recording. So, the idea is that you just dip in and out of recordings, you listen, you really take in the vibe or the energy of that recording, and you decide which one you like the most. Once you decide that, you commit to that recording. A few more features that I really like about Primephonic. One of them is the browse feature, where you can browse by period or genre or composers or conductors, or you can browse by these different playlists as well. So let's say I want to browse by period, and I want to listen to music from the classical period. Then it'll show me these popular classical composers, Beethoven, Mozart, Haydn, Rossini, Weber. And it'll also show me well-known classical works. There's the Moonlight Sonata, there's the Magic Flute by Mozart, or the Marriage of Figaro by Mozart, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, and so on. And it'll show you the latest classical albums. So it really is wonderful for browsing music. Or it has a radio function. So this is if you just wanted to play random music as if you were listening to the radio. So you could even set up the radio to choose a specific period, say Baroque or classical or romantic. You could choose a genre like orchestral or vocal music, or you could choose an instrument like cello or flute or horn or whatever. So you can choose radio based on what kind of music you want to listen to, or even there are moods, bittersweet or dreamy or calm or that kind of thing. And what's cool is if you listen to Primephonic for long enough, it will begin to guess what kind of music you like, and it'll curate playlists based on your taste. And it's a lot more adept at doing this than Spotify is. So lastly, I want to show you how you can get 2 months of free membership with this service, and then you can go on and decide whether you want to continue with it or not. So you can visit this link. It's primephonic.insidethescore.com. When you get there, you can click Start Now, and then you follow the instructions to create your account. So once you've created your account, you can choose your subscription. So either you can get the standard account, or you can get the superior audio quality, which is 24-bit, extremely high resolution audio. So I'm going to go with this one because I like high quality audio. So once you click on this, you enter your card details, Don't worry, it won't charge you, and you can always cancel after the first 2 months if you don't want to pay for this. So then I click enter voucher code. This is the important bit. And we'll type in inside the score like that, and then click apply. Voucher applied, and then click next step, and then click confirm subscription. And you're done. You've just got 2 months free of Primephonic. So I hope you enjoy it. Check it out and let me know what you think of this service. Finally, I'm including links to different Primephonic playlists in my course, 14 Pieces. This is a course where you can get a complete introduction to classical music, how to listen, how to get the most out of music, and I'm now including Primephonic playlists so you can listen to great recordings of those pieces as you go through the course. So if you want to check out that course, then follow my link to the 14 Pieces. It's a free course. Check it out. It'll teach you a lot about classical music and how to listen. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, then let me know in the comments below.